Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome to another traditional Zendikar Rising draft with Travis Semulin Sours. If you'd like to watch the drafting live, you can check us out at www.twitch.tv/Semulin. Chat, say hello to YouTube. The theory I'm working on currently is that green-black is actually where I want to be. That the green-black cards get passed, the rest of them don't. Even though the deck isn't quite as strong as some of the other ones you can put together, that I'm going to get past the stuff we can make it work. This pack is asking me to question that decision because what I want to do is just take a decent green and or black card and there isn't one, which makes me kind of sad. Green-white has some of the same possibilities if we get a good landfall deck, so I think I'm going to take Pig Club here and see what we can do, but I kind of want to take the Bright Blade. I don't think I'm going to miss it that much. Yeah, again, like, we're seeing decent stuff in other colors, but I strongly believe, you know what, this is the best place to test it, and it can get YouTube excited too. Because I don't know what they took. It was a rare. There's no signal. We could take a Relic Vial or an Infiltrator and we could get excited about those things. But this is not what I'm like. This pack isn't the important one. It's what this person opened. This person isn't taking a green card. This person isn't. This person isn't. This person isn't. So I'm going to double down and take me a Nectar Pot. And you can judge me all you want. We're green. Because if this theory doesn't work, I'm back to the drawing board. So let's test it out. It's not going to be green-white clerics. It's probably going to be green-black. There's a chance we get into green-white landfall. For YouTube's benefit, the draft we just did, I basically forced this as well, and it worked out beautifully. And it was a little gut-wrenching initially to be passing good cards, which is what we're going to do again, because I want the Subtle Strike. Don't worry. You'll see the genius in a moment. Do we just stop and do crabs now? Because crab theory is pretty fun, too. Because I like Acquisitions Expert a lot, but I could also pretty easily be convinced to play blue-black with a crab. Yeah, okay, maybe this isn't the right time to experiment. Just maybe, because I think Rogues is actually a little bit more open. So if I can get a nuts version of Rogues, we'll play it. Yeah, I was expecting to see something like a Rabid Bite in this pack, but instead we're seeing good card draw. So, okay, never mind. It's a YouTube draft. We'll do Rogues. It'll be fine. I do like a Stalker and a Duelist, but I think I want me the Vanquish the Weak more. Rogues for YouTube is a classic archetype. But I still think when in doubt, defaulting to drafting green cards might be the way to go, specifically green-black. It's usually only getting gobbled up if somebody opens a Skellington and won't get off of it. Well, crab theory is a known and established theory, Campbell. Like, we understand what crab theory does. It's get two crabs and make your opponents cry. And you can't get two crabs if you don't take one crab. I think my last 3-0 was a deck with two crabs. It's just not fair, especially if you can land it early. And Rogues is kind of the best place for it because you're able to take advantage of the mill to power up your other cards. Now, this pack sucks, but not just for us, for everyone. I could see a build that would be interested in a Silencer, but I'm going to just make sure I have a 2-drop here. I'm not excited about the Cleric, but observe all of these cards wheeling. So let me tell you something about green. It's open. But I think I've got enough of a reason to be avoiding it now. All of those green cards were in that pack. And they all came back. Nobody's drafting green. It's like trying to argue with the theory of gravity. Fair. Because if I can get 7 good cards out of each pack, we're good to go. And I think the only thing I passed that I super missed to test this theory was the Lol Mage's domination. And I'm going to be real with you, I do miss it. But it'll be okay. This lets me build in some party shenanigans. So, like, if we end up not dedicated rogues, I think we can live with that. Yeah, and if I need this as a finisher, we can play that too. I'm not so committed that, like, it has to be rogues. Like, I've already got a way to mill them and to pay off for doing so. And I think the crab is just a legitimate threat on its own. Also, note, I think we're going to take this here because the blue cards that we have are really just the crab. Like, we could easily get back into green black from this. I went 2-1 unglued. So it's a little bit of time to like decide here because the geyser mage would be very good with what we're doing. The ooze would be very good if we're gonna just get rid of this blue because we've kind of ended up with a start for like green black party, which I'm not opposed to. Yeah, blue needs to be really open because we already know green's open the other side. I think I'm going to take the ooze here and plan on getting back to our original theory of green black, which can still play nearly all of these cards. The Skulker's obviously going to be worse, but whatever. Disciple's just fine. I don't think I'm looking to go 3 color. I can't get into those math numbers. Yeah, I think over Gloom Hunter because I should find another Gloom Hunter. Hey, look, green black's open. Neat. I'd have been happy with the acquisitions expert. Well, we might see another Gloom Hunter. I don't know that I'm going to see another Disciple. It's an uncommon. So what were you saying about my theory? This guy's pretty good too. The counters off of the Sentinel are nice as well, but right now we don't have much reason to be partying and a lot of reason to be countering. So we'll get into that. Anyway, the other green black deck went 2-1, but our opponent had a busted deck at the end, so it was fine. We're going to see a Rabid Bite next. I don't know why people hate green so much. What I kind of want now is to fill out the 2-drop slot with some of the surviving warriors that give +1/+1 counters. That would be kind of a big game here. Just put a counter on something, sacrifice it to the Disciple. I wouldn't mind a Blood Beckoning. Wouldn't mind another removal spell, maybe a Deadly Alliance and a Rabid Bite. Well, I can draft more provided I can find a deck that like something that's open that can consistently 2-1 and then hit a 3-0 now and then, which I think this deck can. I'm not a huge fan of the Scythe Cat, but we are starting to get a preponderance of counters. So I think it's the pick here. Normally I'd be interested in the Scion and Nectar Pot shenanigans, but I kind of want to go hard on this counter theme and see if we can make it work. Okay. What? I don't think that's realistically happening. But what else here are we playing? You can't splash a 2-drop. It doesn't matter how good it is. I think we're playing the Oblivion's Hunger, which is not something I really expected to be making that pick over, but here we are. Magic, thank you for the host. I'm not splashing for a 2-drop. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm not splashing for a 2-drop. Y'all spam some cats for magic. Thank y'all for being here. This should play nicely with our counters. And the hunger's probably actually in at this point. I think I take the takedown here, which I realize I just said I'm not going to splash. If we see another good white card that we want to splash, which would not be a 2-drop, it would be something heavier, and I get a Reclaim the Waste, we could talk about playing this takedown as well. Yeah, but this is not worth a splash either. You going to splash for a 4-mana 4/4? I'm not. And then how many planes are you playing? Which means this is a 4-mana 4/4 that gets a forest. I mean, if it was, 3 and a green, I'd play it every time, but it's not. I think green white was actually a little more open. But like, what are you going to do to your mana base to play those two cards? The power of the fledgling is that you can play it on turn 2 and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And if you're splashing it, you can't do that. Come on in, buddy. Okay. We're doing it. I still need a removal spell. But this is pretty busted so far. We're on green-white. We're on green-black theory. That this is just more often open than the other colors. But I've talked about this in one of the Joy of Drafting videos that I don't think you can consistently or realistically splash for 2-drops, even if they're really good 2-drops. I used the example before, we'll take the ambush here somewhat obviously. I used the example before of Seasoned Hallowblade. Like, the card's absurd, right? Like, it's one of the most busted 2-drops Limited has ever seen, but I'm not splashing for it. Because, like, by the time you can play it on turn 6, it's not as good. And the same thing goes for the bird. Like, it would be kind of like splashing a raptor. I'm not splashing a raptor. Royal Mage is a great splash because it's a 6-mana play. Now I think we are interested in the Gloom Hunter, and the last card I really need is a Blood Beckoning. Like, significantly more than anything else. So let's find us a Blood Beckoning. You do lose some of the flexibility of Royal Mage. Like, you're going to feel stupid if somebody's killing you with a 3/2 holding a Royal Mage in your green-black deck, but I've done it. I would really like a Visionary for this deck, but I think we need to feed the Swarm more. Our removal suite's pretty weak. I think Shade is better. It doesn't matter, right? Like, when are you ever going to have to make that choice? 14 creatures, really no party shenanigans. I don't really want to play this rogue either, but I'm currently priced into it. I could sort of see a matchup where a Baloth with a Kite Sail on it would be useful, but I could also see some gems being nice in my account. Okay, so I've got another McLord, but I think I like the Nectar Pot and try to trim this. Because, like, I don't have another rogue. I don't need that. If we can trim it, we may not be able to, because I'm just not getting the pieces here. I think this one would have been better as green-white. That's the other deck we've identified as pretty good. Oh, yeah, that's what I meant to do. Hopefully I would have caught that. I'm probably going to end up playing it anyway, because there's not really anything here for us. Yeah, I think just to get to playables, we're going to have to run it. I guess we do have one rogue to go with it, and it combos with the Demon's Disciple. So we've got that going for us. Little stuck on 3 here. I kind of can't believe we didn't see a Blood Beckoning. I'm going to be ever so slightly short playables, but like if I've got to run an Adventure Awaits and a Vampire, I can do it. Blood Price, welcome to the team. That'll have to do. But like looking back through that, what was open? What were we supposed to take if not this? I guess red something? Hard for me to say with any sort of authority. So I think we're going to want to add in 2 cards, but let's do our Stream Raiders battle first. We got a Feeding Frenzy here. Goblin Tosser's not so scary these days. I can remember when we were intimidated by those, but we have all leveled up nicely. Clerics? You always say clerics. There we go. We got Harper with the kill, Simchair with the assists, Scrolls for Limestone, Higgs, and Sparrow. Ooh, we can get another... we're getting one either way, aren't we? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Thank you, Simchair. All right. I thought those were ranged units. Maybe they are. You guys play some ranged units to kill them. Or they're flyers or whatever. So I think we need 2 cards here, right? And I don't think I can cut much of the early game. It's a decent number of 2s. But I've lately been just trimming a land for each of these that I have and been pretty happy with it. So I think we need 2 more playables. Ideally, they'd be removal spells, but we don't really have them. I could play a second Broken Wings, which is a bit ambitious. I think I'm going to play a Kite Sail. And probably another Dreadworm. No, the Vampire's just good enough. The Vampire's good enough. It's not exciting, but it's good enough. Here, we can be sharks. Do. Yeah, our worst 2 cards are pretty bad, but I think the deck will still work. So if the theory holds, this deck should get a 2-1. And I think I'd be happy with that result. Happy enough, at least. On the draw, that's not so bad. It's a decent combat trick to have with this dude. I think we just kill that now. Like, we don't have any 2-drops. I'd rather play a 2-drop and trade, but I can't. So we're missing some value there, but the way this is stacking up, I don't want to take 6 damage from this thing before I can interact with it. Ideally, I want them to have something to block this with and get to use Feed the Swarm, and maybe have them play the 3/2 that we actually want to kill. I think I'd probably consider trading this if we had Blood Beckonings in the deck, but we don't. This is not ideal. Because I need this as a land with this hand. I think that means I need to feed the Swarm on the Rogue. Because I'm not going to be able to block it. If I can get this to a 4 and then hold it back and block with Hunger Up, we might be able to do something. But I'm looking at taking 6 damage to get all this done. This is tough. This is real tough. Man, why couldn't this have been an instant? It's kind of the worst, but I suppose we still go for it. Oh, I'm glad they did that before combat. Because I was going to hold it back and block. See you later, Shepard. I probably do go fish for the land here. Sucks to take 2 life to do it, but we need us a land. Because they have to block this and the hunger should be good. Unless they want to chomp, which is fine too. Ideally, they're going to make the block that they're lining up to do now. Ooh, that's tough. That's real tough. So we've got black-white stuff with shepherds, rogues, and pressure point. I think I'm pretty happy running another copy of Broken Wings against what we've seen so far. Because we already saw one target, and if they don't have Nahiri's bindings, their draft went terrible. I don't think I want to fiddle with too much more. Like, arguably the kite sail is not going to be super great on the draw, but I think I might still like it. Yeah, they could be party and we just didn't see their payoffs. Like, for all we know, they have a Thwart the Grave in there somewhere. That's a decent start. Yeah, can get a vial too if they have one of those. Good point, Kenny. Told you this was a combo with the Disciple. Well, we would want to smack a vial versus our opponent for sure. I don't think I need to play anything here. Yeah, they just got mana screwed. That seems to be the end result of a lot of games in this format too. I remember when it first started, people were talking about the spell lands like they were going to eliminate variants. I just haven't done that. Maybe if there were some of them at common, but you can't get enough that it does that. And there were theories in the beginning about, well, you just take everyone you see, and that's not good. So they ended up being more of like a bonus feature rather than a defining part of the format. Sorry about the wait here, YouTube. Uh, I can't pause when recording in OBS, and Magic is having some issues, it would appear. Yeah, no common dual lands hurts that a good bit too. If you want to splash, you gotta be green. Oh, that's not fair. Arena's a quality program too. Here, we'll try a restart and hopefully it doesn't erase our first game. Moo. Simwife with the actual quote. Come on, Arena. You can do it. I believe in you. Yeah, we did it. We did it. And we got to keep our win. This is what victory feels like. Lola, thank you for the host. Appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with us. Y'all spam some cats for Lola. Raiders, welcome aboard. I am someone who loves drafting. Lately, I've been doing a little bit of standard in the morning, a little bit of drafting in the afternoon. And once a day, we record one of our drafts for YouTube, and you have arrived right as we're doing that. So very happy to have y'all here. It's all good, Lola. Thank you for bringing the crew over, man. I appreciate it. If anybody's watching me and doesn't know who Lola is, like, that's sad because Lola's great and you should watch him too. Give him a follow. He is very clearly the host with the most right now. This is a pretty decent opener for us. The ooze has been quite good. Heck yeah, start a YouTube channel, man. It's been very good for growth for me. Like, and it's stuff I'm already producing draft content. Why not show it? Let's see if we got a coward. I could, if I wanted to, Kalini ambush that. But I think I can make him scared of a subtle strike and steal a point. Day's going good. This is not my favorite draft format of all time, but I'd say I'm having a good time drafting. Yeah, that's a bold attack, so I want to go ahead and get some value off of this ambush, probably by killing the 4/4. Either that or they didn't read the card. Well, if I can get a ridiculous win rate, I'm going to love a format. I haven't found the ridiculous win rate here. I'm just going to go ahead and kill this. I don't see a compelling reason not to. We may as well do it while they're tapped out. If they go land and then Deadly Alliance, I guess we could still do it in response, but... Welcome back, Band Geek. The thing with the stuff has been done. Well, I got a swarm and they're hungry. So let's get eaten. It's our choice. I think Golgari may be the trick to this for me, Lola. I've been working on a theory that people won't play the green cards, so I should just take them. Like, that's how I've achieved good win rates in draft. Like, it was Mardu in Ikoria, it was blue black in the core set, and I think it might be green black. You did it, Reddit. Because, like, the cards that you need for it, people just won't take. Yeah, green white's the other one. Because blue, everybody wants to play blue, and they're all fighting over it. We've got one Scythe Cat. But yeah, green feels very open, so just pair it with something. At least that's the strategy I'm going on currently. Who knows, it may change tomorrow. Flying and menace. It's a little scary. Whee! It was, and it worked until it didn't. I can't consistently get cards that are worth splashing. That strategy track kind of depends on opening bombs or getting past bombs. It was going so well until everyone died. Yeah. So like if bombs don't get past, I can't splash them. Holy carp, double flying. You guys want to get high? All right. So I would say we could pretty happily cut the wings, but it looks like they're going to be giving stuff flying, and they really like Oblivion's Hunger. They can't be mono black, right? I mean, I guess they could be. I kind of want to keep this the same here. Have a good one, Lola, and thanks again for the host, bud. Hope things are going well in your world. Lola's good people. Hungry for medium combat tricks. Me too, man. I think this is fine. I don't think we need to fiddle with this too much. Could form an arena seems to be memeing. A meme away, a meme away, a meme away, a meme away. Mono black flying worms. That sounds kind of gross. They put me on the play. Cool. We are happy to have the viewers, Andy. We are happy to have the viewers. Very subtle. Much strike. It ain't going anywhere, though. That's the best kind of string cheese. I still eat string cheese like a banana. I probably do deserve some grief for that. McLord. All right, so all of my problems kind of start and end with they have a 3/4. I'm wondering if I want a 2-for-1 myself to get rid of it, but like we're fine. Let's just make a land drop, do the thing, move along with our life. There's no land drop here. Well, there's that land drop here now. That seems fine. You get to be a land too. Yeah, Cardboard Live should be on. I kind of want to have this in play and then play that. So I think I'm going to try because that's a bunch of tokens and I like tokens. We have no Cardboard Live? I don't know what to tell you. It's on. The only thing I've noticed that's broken about it is they have draft rankings from LSV and Deathsea, but I didn't see Semulin in here. So I think it is broken, but just in a different way. But if it's not working, we'll sort it out after the YouTube thing. Yeah, the tokens go really nicely with the disciple. They are best friends for sure. I think I'm pretty comfortable killing one of these and hitting them. That means I can play a 2-drop of my choice. Problem is we're making that bigger. I kind of need a way to deal with that, and I don't have one. So sacrificing something here isn't actually that great, is it? I could play the McLord. I think I'd actually sacrifice the Shade here. But sacrificing that and giving them a 3/3 just speeds up their clock. It's not actually doing anything. I think I'm going to go McLord and Nectar Pot and pass because they still don't have great attacks. Because I need to draw something to deal with the flyer, and the bigger it gets, the less options I have for it. I probably do need to start doing something to entice them to trade. Because at a certain point, they're going to draw their kite sail and just kill me with these 3/4s and 5/4s. So I need to get attacking. That doesn't quite do it, but it could still be cute. I think they really are mono black. I think I'm sacrificing the McLord here. Because I can put a counter on the shade and attack with it. That might allow me to trade for two things here and I get more bugs. What else do I want to counter on? This guy would be a good attacker with a counter too, wouldn't he? They might have a subtle strike of their own. I'll be sad if they do. Oh no, Oblivion's Hunger, of course. But I've still got to start threatening them at some point. Otherwise, it's just until like they draw a kite sail and I die. Vanquish the Weak would have been nice. Why is Oblivion so hungry? I'm not sure. We still got attacks, eh? And they're holding back the Tabaraks? They're holding back a ton of flying attackers to block with? All right, you want to block? Let's start blocking. They don't even have mana up for another Hungry Oblivion thing. I start calling that card Hungry Hungry Hippos, I guess. Yeah, I should be able to get them next turn just by swinging the tame. Yeah, I think they are certainly in a rough spot. Have I sold y'all on black green yet? Yeah, they're just dead. Get insected. Yeah, the flying worms deck may be a real thing too, but I even tried not to draft green black here and then got stuck into it. I thought we were going into crab theory, but we weren't. Looks like our stream raid is ready to go. So let's fire this off and then see if we can get the 3-0. Kite sail's fine. It's not great, but I've played decks that want it. This one I think wants it. Dom with the kills, Rex with the assists. Gold for all of y'all, more gold for Nexus Limestone Lincoln, and scrolls for Grimfang and Maori. These Barbarian scrolls are going to be very valuable in the near future, as that is what our next skin is going to be. This is just a better fight for a Barb, isn't it? Let's chop them up. I wanted to show off the Monk, but... Let's just need a land to be in business. Yeah, I think it has a place in red-white aggro and also in just generally green decks. Meow. Who's a good kitty? Guess what's dying? Guess what's dying and guess what's flying? Speaking of kite sail, this is not at its best against blue because they're pretty likely to be able to bounce it. No flying nectar pot. I'd rather nectar not. We can still get value from that little kitten. Well, I'm glad I did that. I think I like the ooze here. They say you ooze, you lose. There's a possibility they don't have a land, so I'm going to hold back the nectar pot. I mean, it's unlikely, but... And we can decide if we want to use the broken wings to unlock the scythe cat. I think that's going to be a yes, but we'll see. So the question here is, do I think we're going to race them with the 5-4, or would I rather have this back in play? I could also just get it back and block that and be done with this whole charade. But I think I actually am down with this. Because I think I can still race. Man, must be nice. I have no weeks to vanquish. But I don't mind chumping and putting a counter here, potentially. I probably still just take it. Yeah, great timing, Vanquish. Great timing. Can you just play a small creature? No, this is not what I wanted. This is getting awkward. I need to draw a way to deal with that. I think we pretty clearly want the second Broken Wings. Yeah, we had a lot of things lining up there, Fireblade, but sadly, we may just be off of it now. I don't have a whole lot that can kill that. Yeah, I think we'll probably go for the second Broken Wings here. All right. The air is the only thing that matters right now. I'm just using this to use it. Is Gloom Hunter enough? I mean, it does technically let me survive a turn. Man, I want 3 Broken Wings now. And the kite sail isn't looking that bad. Boink. Wonder what the white's for. Oh, we already saw it. They're splashing the journey. Green black, ladies and gentlemen, is good. All right, so the vampire was kind of like a halfway include anyway, right? So I think cutting the vampire for the second Broken Wings is just obvious. I think I want to keep the kite sail. I think I want to keep the kite sail because it gives me another way to kind of play against a Roost of Drakes if I'm not able to disenchant it. Like, ideally, they just play it out, we disenchant it, they have 1 burb. I could make an argument that this is keepable. But it's not. This one is. This one is. I can do something with this. It sucks to mulligan. It's one of the worst things you can do in limited. If you have the opportunity to not mulligan, don't mulligan. We are not playing around with this cat. You're going to have to deal with my flying skeleton. Bad kitty. Oh, worse kitty. Do not care for this. I also don't want a double block, but I don't think I have a whole lot of choice here. And that first hand would have been so good against this, except for, not having any lands. I guess the hands that don't have enough lands always look great because they're just full of action. Please attack with that cat now. Why would you not attack with the cat? Yeah, if you've got a no-lander and it doesn't look good, you have done something horribly wrong. Oh, lordy. This just keeps getting better and better. Nice timing, Vanquish the Wake. I can't even try to race that currently. I don't think I'm beating that 7/7. I don't think I'm beating either of these 7 power creatures. They big. And they're only getting bigger. Huge fan. Oh, oh, ho, 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 ho. What? Nuh-uh. No, no, new, new. This is exceptionally very not good. And I can't do anything about it. You want to see it go off? All right, fine. We'll let them have their day in the sun. They built their deck to do this. Yeah, we need Vanquish the Strong, which I believe is Smite the Monstrous. Yeah. Go ahead, do it. I would have to have the emotes turned on, and nothing is worth having the emotes being turned on. I think they did a good job with it, though. That was a close game. They only got me to negative 36. All right. I don't have a sideboard for this. No one has a sideboard for that. Their deck did the thing. Let's go on the play and try to beat it. Not mulliganing would be a nice start. What's up, Randy? I believe that is what they call flexing. It was a yeet flex. All right, it's not great, but it's keepable. We draw a swamp, we got some business going. There's our swamp. Right here. I can tell. See? I'm in under that one. Obviously. Cat needs to be purple. All right. Yes, we're 75% to hit at limestone, and we didn't. That's pretty amazing. If I do say so myself. Yay! All right, I still believe I found the secret sauce to get 3 O's, but even I cannot defeat the shuffler. My greatest opponent. Is that even good here? They're only attacking for 5,000, right? I believe we're on 9. It might be 8. But the math still works out that we should be able to find one. I have to chump here, sadly, for us to have any chance of getting out of this, but I don't think we have a chance of getting out of this. This disappoints the Travis. But I do think I'm re-energized to draft more, which is good, because I want to draft more. Alrighty. Good times. I mean, I feel like we're advantaged here. All right, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, thank you for tuning in and watching the draft here. If you would like to watch me drafting more green-black and seeing how far we can go with it, which is apparently to 2-1s, but I still think we're on the secret sauce, you can do that live at www.twitch.tv/Semulin. Chat, say goodbye to YouTube.